I'm going all out for my bro, that's regardless. Realest car, we gon' park it, you know where I'm from, so don't get me started. Cause my bros are retarded, can say I'm the GOAT, but I feel I'm the hardest.
Hey guys, it's Ty, and I'm back with another video, but this time I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of working with FedEx. Because let's just say, there was definitely a lot of pros, but even more cons, I would say. So I'm going to start out with the pros. I would say getting paid weekly. I mean, that was it. That had me excited every day to go to work. Because you cannot be getting paid every week. Like that's just rare in this workforce that we have now. So when I seen that on the job posting, I was like, yeah, I can see myself working at FedEx. And mind you, I have never worked a warehouse job at that point. Like this was my first real warehouse job where I was like, you know what, let me try it out, see what it's like. And I think at that time it was like $15 an hour. And it was I think I worked there like 5 or maybe 4 years ago. And it was close to my parents' house when I was living there at the time. And it just made sense in my life. And when I went for the first day, after, the onboarding process and all of that, I realized I have my work cut out for me. Like, being a package handler is not for the weak. I would tell my man, like, oh my God, like, yeah, I'm part-time, but it's feeling like a full-time shift. And I mean, I was packaging as high as I could using the Tetris method, like they would call it. And for some reason, even when I would try to be so careful, I would come home with bruises almost every day. And I bruise easily. So I could see, wow, I'm getting hurt and I'm not even realizing it until I get home. Could you imagine, like, just working and working and working? And you go home and you're like, dang, my back hurt. I got some bruises I didn't even know I had on my body. And I don't even remember what instant in time that this happened. It just didn't make sense, And so I realized, okay, let me just keep in my mind about, okay, I'm gonna get paid this week. That's what I should worry about. Honestly, kudos to anybody that's working for FedEx right now or who's thinking about working for FedEx. I mean, this is my story. It doesn't mean that it'll be your story, or it doesn't mean it'll be anybody else's story either. But I'm just saying, from my perspective, I lasted longer than I thought I would. I mean, I was a really good package handler to the point that my boss would be like, can you go help out the other trucks? And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to listen to my boss and do it too. But lo and behold, I was even more tired doing that. Also, I didn't like the no phone policy where you had to leave it in your locker. I mean, that was some getting used to. So you actually had to like communicate and talk to other people on the job, which, I mean, it's good because with society now, everybody's so used to being on their phones all the time. So it gave me like a refreshing type of job, where I could talk to people and see what their life is like and really relate to people. I mean, I made a lot of good friends while I was working there. Half of them I don't talk to, but some I do still. So I'm thankful for that. So these are like the pros that I'm talking about, like meeting people that I probably would have never met if I didn't work there, and meeting people I probably would have met out of FedEx, but I think it just brought us together faster. And I would also say The weekly pay was good. And I mean, the experience was good too. I realized that FedEx workers go through a lot to get your packages to the door. To the max that I didn't even realize was possible. Like, there was a lot of things that go into the process that I wasn't aware of. So I would say those are some pros. And the cons, like I was saying, was definitely the bruises that I would get when I would come home. And I did do the day shift and the night shift. I didn't like the night shift because going into work, it's light outside, and then you go home and it's dark. I did not like that at all. Also, I didn't like the scanners. I would try to take them off as much as possible, and my boss would scold me and be like, you need to put it back on because this is some expensive equipment and I don't want it to get lost or be left in the truck and the truck is gone. And so I would put it back on, and so that would give me a bruise on my hand and my wrist because it was so heavy, and I don't know, it was just very uncomfortable. And I have sensitive skin, so I mean, my skin just wasn't going for it. I mean, even my skin was rejecting working at FedEx, now that I think about it. So yeah, that, having to scan and then package and then watch the shoot to make sure that it didn't back up, it was just a lot. So for that would be a con for sure. And also being overworked, that was a con. I did not feel like I should be pulling up the weight of my team members like I did. I did injure my foot while I was there too. So it was just a lot of things that happened that I was realizing, like, dang, I don't think I could work here for too long. Because if I did, I think I would have went home with even more bruises, to say the least. But I would definitely do FedEx if it's your first job. If, you know, you're trying to get your foot in the door with the warehouse career or something like that, it's good on your resume, because when I stopped working there, I went to a JCPenney's warehouse where I met a lot of people too, and there was pros and cons to that as well. But since this video is about FedEx, I'm saying, as from a FedEx point of view, it's a good place to work if you're, you know, young and thriving. I mean, the older people can do it too, but it's just very strenuous on your body. It's just very strenuous. Like, you're like, half of the people that was there that was older, like, they did not last long. I would see them one day and they would be gone the next day. And that told me all I needed to know. It's like, one day you would see your friend, one day you wouldn't. I mean, that's just how it went. And it's like they replaced people like that. Like, if you think they're worried about if you come to work, they always have somebody waiting to take your place. I mean, the onboarding was super fast, so I could only imagine how quick they can replace someone. And they had different sectors in the FedEx facility, but I more so only did package handling, so that's the only thing that I could speak on. But all in all, if you're looking to work in a warehouse job, I personally wouldn't recommend FedEx. Maybe go to like a JCPenney warehouse, or I don't know, any other warehouse, because FedEx is not for the weak. But like I said, just because I don't recommend it doesn't mean that you don't have to go. Because what you're going to do, you're going to do what you want to do. Because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I want to do too. Because I watched a YouTube video about FedEx, and I decided by myself, you know what? This is their story. It might not be my story. Yeah, they might have proved me wrong, because they was right. I should never went there. But like I said, there's a lot of pros. I was able to save a lot because I was getting paid weekly. But I mean, it's basically like you're getting paid the same amount bi-weekly, but I'm just saying, like, for it to come so quick, like right in my bank account, that's something that I miss. I will say I miss getting paid weekly. That's all that I'm missing. But other than that, give this a like, subscribe, share, let your people know, you know what, maybe I should go work with FedEx, or maybe I shouldn't go work for FedEx. Let it be your decision. But I hope you take away something that will help you figure out if you want to work for FedEx, or if you want to work for a warehouse job in general. Just keep in mind that there's always going to be pros and cons to a job, but it's just what you make it. But thank you guys. Remember, subscribe, like, share. I'm gonna give you a second though to subscribe. Yeah. All right. I think I gave you enough time. I'll see you next time. Bye.